All right, everyone, let's get talking about conversion optimization. So today we're really going to be talking about how to drive a lot more conversions and really scale your growth with meaningful conversion optimization. To get started, I will say that whenever I ask clients of mine, why do people buy from you? I get very similar answers. They're all to do with the pricing, features, technology, and the solution that my clients are providing. The reason this happens, the reason we all think that this is why people buy, is because we've been trained over the past decade that data is the most important thing. You will be told to be data first. You will be told that data above everything. And what we look at is browsers, devices, geographical locations. We're looking at numbers. We're thinking about tools and software and segmentation and Google Analytics and heat maps. And really, any way that we can segment and categorize our customers or our prospects into little pieces of data. We've completely forgotten that behind the screens are people. We've somehow convinced ourselves that this is enough. It's enough to know this about our customers, and that will help us increase conversions. But what really happens is when all you know about your customers is their age, their geographical location, their job title, when all you know about them is very technical, conversion optimization becomes really hard. You end up taking a landing page, a website, a homepage, an email, and simply duplicating it and changing one piece on the page, meaning you don't really know what to do. And what I like to call this is the deadly hamster wheel of optimization. And what that means is that when we want to optimize, the first thing we do is we test random stuff. We change a call to action button, we change a headline, we try and figure out, okay, what's going to work best? And we don't get the results that we want. And so we start copying our competitors because they probably know what they're doing. But unfortunately, once you copy your competitors, you then start sounding just like everyone else and you look like everyone else. And it's almost impossible for your prospects to know who to choose, you or your competitor. So then you think, okay, I will just get tools and software and we will fix the problem that way. But once you have the tool and the software, you still have to optimize. You still have to change things. And then you're back to that square one, which is testing random stuff. So I'm here to tell you that conversion optimization isn't about changing elements on a page. It's about solving people's problems. If you want to increase conversions, if you want to drive real revenue and sales and really have an impact on your funnel, you really need to start understanding how people make decisions. And it's simple, right? Because if you understand how people make decisions, why they buy, the real why, then you can create a funnel, a landing page, a website, an email that will speak to that will convince them with the words that they care about, the stories they care about, that will actually cater to their needs. So how do people make decisions? Well, most of us tend to think that this is how. We've all been taught that we're rational people and we've convinced ourselves that when we're buying a product or a service or a solution, we go through this elaborate process of thinking about the pros and the cons and what makes sense and what doesn't. And then we finally reach a rational decision. But scientists and psychologists and neuroscientists and actually the biggest brands in the world, when you think about it, they know that this is not how people make decisions. They have seen that the only way people make decisions, the actual way people make decisions, is like this. Everything we buy in life has an emotional reason to it. We buy on emotion, whether we want to admit it or not. Our emotions impact everything we do. Our brain is quick, it's intuitive, it's sharp, and it's emotional. Antonio Damasio, which is a famous scientist, ran an incredible experience years ago with people that have brain damage. This specific brain damage was that they couldn't feel any emotion. So the people that he was researching were regular, normal people, but they had one problem. They couldn't feel any emotion. And what he discovered was that without the emotion, they lacked the possibility to make a decision, not even what sandwich to buy and what sandwich to eat. And what we found out, and what really Antonio Damasio says, is that we're not thinking machines that feel. We are feeling machines that think. Without emotion, we lack the ability to make any kind of decision, not even the sandwich thing. So how do we know why people buy from us? Well, the first thing I want to tell you right now is that no one cares what you're selling. And this is harsh, this is a harsh truth, but no one does. And no matter what you're selling, what people really care about isn't the what. It's not the solution. It's not the product. It's the why. What's in it for me as a person? So when someone is making a decision, they're not thinking about your features, your technology. They're not thinking about your pricing. They're thinking about what's in it for me. How will I be affected on an emotional level? And what I want, the most important thing I will say here is that emotions affect decisions. Decisions are going to affect your conversions, and obviously conversions affect revenue. So it's super important to know that if you want to increase conversions, you have to start tapping into emotions. You have to understand the emotional drivers of your prospect, and you have to understand what makes people buy your solution. Now, just one sec, I will also say that normally when I introduce this, the first thing people will say to me is, of course, in e-commerce, that makes complete sense. But is emotion really important in B2B too? Yes. In fact, think of Google found that B2B purchasers are almost 50% more likely to buy a product or a service when they see personal value in their purchasing decision. This is crazy. Their own personal value. Will I get, will I get promoted? Will people like me? Will I feel more confident? In fact, they are 8 times more likely to pay a premium for a similar product when they see personal value. So if I were to ask you today, why do people buy from you? I'm hoping you wouldn't say, it's our technology, it's our pricing, it's our features, but actually you will say, well, it's because they want to know if they're going to get a career advancement, if people are going to see me as the go-to. Will they feel more confident? Will they get promoted? Will it make them a better X? And so on. So really, it is important to know that at the end of the day, what you really want to uncover is this. How are your customers making decisions? What are the emotions behind their decision-making process? So let's touch on the most common emotions that impact buying decisions. I have been doing this for over a decade, and actually a lot more than a decade. And we have actually found more than 223 different emotional triggers that affect buying decisions. And it's important to note that it's never just one emotion that's impacting these decisions, it's multiple. So when you ask me, okay, Talia, I'm sold, I get it, emotions matter, and the only way I can increase conversions, even in B2B, is I have to understand my prospects' emotions. But what are the most common emotions? I will tell you that there are 2 clusters of emotions, and this is what they are. So the first cluster of emotional drivers or emotional triggers is self-image. This is how I want to feel about myself after I purchase a solution. Maybe I want to feel more proud of myself. I want to feel more confident. I want to feel important. I want to feel lovable. I want to feel meaningful. All of these different emotions impact a decision-making process. So how will your prospect feel about themselves when buying a product? And the second cluster of emotions is social image. And social image has everything to do with how other people will think about them after they purchase a solution. So if self-image is about how I want to feel, social image is about how do I want other people to think about me or feel about me once I've purchased this solution. So maybe they want to feel valued, maybe they want to feel admired, maybe they want to be appreciated, they want to feel meaningful to the business, they want to feel that they are the go-to person, and so on. So what do we want other people to think about? So I would like to introduce to you a framework that will help you uncover your customers' emotional triggers and understand their emotional drivers, and also show you how you can leverage this to actually increase conversions. So my framework is called the Emotional Targeting Framework. I've been using this for many years. It has been optimized year over year, but the core is always the same. So step number one is the foundation of everything, making it about your customer. Now, we've spoken about what we already know about our customers. We know their age, their geographical location, we know their device, we know the browsers that they're using, maybe their job title. But here are the actual insights you need to uncover about your customers in order to identify their emotions. What does my customer feel before finding a solution? What are the emotional triggers that drive their decision making? What are their hesitations and concerns? And how do they want to feel after finding a solution? If you know the answers to these 4 questions, you will be able to look at any page on your website or funnel and be able to immediately see what's not connecting, what's wrong, and how to optimize it. It's no longer guesswork or relying on best practices because someone told you that you have to have a call to action button at the top or you have to remove a carousel. It will be geared in the knowledge and insights about your customers. So how do you uncover these? Well, customer research is key. Customer and visitor surveys, customer interviews, social listening, emotional competitor analysis. So not actually comparing your product, but emotionally comparing yourself to your competitor, review mining, and many other. But these are really the most important ones. I'm going to focus today on customer interviews because I know that most of us feel uncomfortable interviewing customers, but I really want to show you that by leveraging customer interviews, you can really increase conversions. So this is Teamwork, one of our clients. They are a project management solution and they are phenomenal. They really are great people, great tool, great product that was built specifically to solve a very hard problem. And one of Teamwork's competitors is Rike. And essentially they had a comparison page because whether we want to admit it or not, our prospects are comparing us to other people all the time. So this was the original comparison page that said, why choose Teamwork over Rike? With this header and a call to action button. And below this was a comparison table of feature against feature. And I think most of us know that this is what usual comparison pages look like. So we ran meaningful customer interviews and we asked people, what made you choose Teamwork over this competitor? And they said, we needed a project management solution that could do it all. We were looking to switch to a new PM system. It was the pricing. It had the features that we needed. And these are very surface level answers. And then they're not what we're looking for. And what I want to show you is what we did, which is we kept asking why these things matter. We dug deeper. And when we dug deeper, we got answers like this. We've used platforms in the past, and a lot of them are not designed for professional services like we are. We had trouble finding technology that understood the way that we worked as a team. I had previously worked with a competitor, but nothing that I thought was a perfect fit for the agency. I saw people like us using Teamwork and talking about it, and it gave me a higher level of confidence that current users are satisfied. Or this competitor is too rigid. I just knew that I was going to have to buy other packages and it was going to get expensive. This is why people were buying, not because of pricing and specific features, but as it turns out, Teamwork built a brilliant product for client services teams. So if you run an agency, if you do client services, you would actually want to use Teamwork because it's a project management solution that was built for this type of work. So they don't really care about the features because all the features are the same with Asana and Monday and Rike and Teamwork. But what they care about is technology that's built for my kind of work, the things that I do as an agency. I want to know that people like me, other agencies are using it, and it was built for people like me. And I want to know that there's no constant upsells. It's a tool that I can rely on. And I know that from the get-go, I will be able to use it and I won't have to manipulate the tool to do it. So really, when you run meaningful customer research, you can uncover incredible insights that aren't surface level, but get you these kind of answers. And I'll show you soon what we did with these insights. So step number one is making it about the customer, running meaningful research, identifying who your customers are beyond generic data. Step number two is auditing your website strategically. So I will say that usually when you think about CRO, the first thing people do is they go into Google Analytics, they review what's wrong, they find out it's a pricing page or a product page, and then they go to the website and they look at it and they think, okay, this is wrong, that's wrong. In the emotional targeting framework, what we do is different. First, we do our customer research, making it about the customer. And only then do we go to the website and look at the pages and then audit it strategically. And this means that now we are geared and armed with amazing insights that help us review the funnel. So instead of asking, do I have just one call to action? Is my call to action button blue or red? Do I have carousels? Should I reduce a form field? Should I add an exit pop-up? When you're auditing your funnel, you want to do it strategically. You want to be able to say, are you making it about yourself or your product? Are you describing the real challenges and obstacles that your prospects are facing? Can people immediately see the why on your landing pages? Are you using the words and descriptions that prospects relate to? What aren't you saying that people need to see and read? And are you including the social proof people care about? This is the kind of audit you should be doing on your website to increase conversions. You should be asking yourself these questions. And once you have the insights we discussed, it's so much easier to answer that. And I'm willing to bet that most of the answers to this is no. So we've done our research, we've reviewed our funnel. It's time to optimize everything with emotion. That means in your design, in your copy, your UX, everything has to come together. So for optimizing with emotion, you want to start with your copy. Always start with the copy. Make it about them, highlight what they care about, tell the stories and use the words that they care about. Make sure that your messaging is connected to their stage of awareness and incorporate trust into everything that you write. So again, we have this comparison page. What do we do? Well, we're going to employ an emotional-centric copy formula, meaning I want to optimize this page so that it includes emotion and it resonates on an emotional level for anyone who's considering right over teamwork. I want people to land on this page and say, oh my gosh, this product was built for me, for the type of work that I do, for the pain, to solve the pain that I have. So the emotion-centric copy formula, which you can use, is based on two very simple things. You take the feature that you want to promote and you attach a desired outcome to it, an emotional outcome. This is the whole formula. What is the feature that your product has? What is the emotional outcome they get from it? Not the benefits, which is do things faster, reduce time, save money, but the actual emotional outcome of it. So I'll give you an example. Teamwork has a profitability report, which most, I would say, a lot of PM softwares have. It's a different report. They call it different names. Teamwork calls it a profitability report because they understand that agency owners want to understand their profitability using this kind of work. And the desired outcome is know immediately what projects are performing and which aren't. So I just want to have peace of mind. When I go into Teamwork, I will know exactly what's happening. So the copy we wrote, be profitable, always. See which projects are performing and make data-driven decisions that grow the profit margin. So we took the feature and we could have just said, profitability report, see what's happening every single day, know what's happening all the time. But that's just a report. But if you attach the emotional outcome, like you will be confident, you will know that you're profitable, you will feel that you can trust what you're seeing, and you will always know that you're in a good spot. That is the emotional centric formula. The other thing is they're one platform that you can do it all, meaning you can do everything on this platform. But come on, every single software out there is saying the same, the all-in-one platform for this, the all-in-one platform for whatever. Everyone's saying the same. So how can you attach an emotional outcome so that this actually makes sense for them? Solve every client management and operations challenge that's holding you back. Never wonder, do we have the resources to handle this? Who's responsible for delivering that? Or is this project profitable? Again, all the answers will be in teamwork.com always. So we're taking the actual feature and we're applying the outcome. Here is the new comparison page we created, designed for client work. No constant upsells or gating of key features you need to thrive. Actual social proof and testimonials that show that, yes, this is for you. This is for the specific work that you kind of do. And even a call out of like, this is what Write was actually built for. And here's what Teamwork was built for. And by adding so much more content and not just copy, choosing the right visuals, the right screenshots of the product, and we'll get into it in a minute, but even optimizing navigation, we were able to increase this comparison page's conversion rate by 54% from organic traffic. So really just adding more copy that's about them and designing a page that they care about. Their previous ads: run projects efficiently, manage multiple complex projects, PM software that works for you, the #1 PM software. All of this is things that Asana could say, Trello could say, Monday.com could say. Here is what Teamwork says now. Tame the creative chaos, trusted by 20,000 companies. Complete project visibility made for client work, be in control. Built for digital agencies, reduce team burnout. And tired of overpromising and under-delivering, Teamwork won't let you down. Make the switch to Teamwork, kiss your project management woes goodbye. Everything they do is around client work. It's focusing on the fact that they serve the right people and they've built a tool for them. At last, easy to use project management you won't outgrow. This is Teamwork's all-time page. Obviously, this is what many companies are saying. Instead, we created a new variation. Run your client work in the only platform that's actually built for it, and added screenshots that made complete sense, that were tied to those emotional outcomes. So ultimately, when you're thinking about copy in emotion, this is a great example. Know the time without seeing you have 1,200 unanswered emails. Copy can go a really long way. So you really have to be focusing on it all the time. Okay, adding emotion to your design. Use images that support and enhance your message. Ensure emotion is consistent throughout the entire page and customer journey. Don't blindly follow design trends or copy competitors, and leverage design and UX to show people where they need to go and what actions they need to take to get their desired outcomes. And I want to show you what we did for Teamwork on their navigation. This was the original navigation menu on their website. Overview, features, platform add-ons. You've got the regular stuff, product tour, integrations, customers, in the features, just highlighting stuff. What we did is we wanted to make the menu and navigation much more conversational, much more specific to customers and people that are running client work, like agencies and client servicing teams. So we created a different type of navigation. First, it says everything you need to know: the A to Z product tour, the full list of integrations, customer stories, the features you need to run client work. So specifically calling out the fact that this is for client work, templates, resource management, reporting. Teams that love us, agencies, professional services, creative teams, what they use us for: project management, project planning, remote work. Everything within the navigation now speaks to the emotional outcomes of our customers. It resonates on an emotional level. If I land on the website now and I go to navigation, I'm going to instantly find what I care about, and I can go down that rabbit hole and ultimately convert. So we've got 2% increase in signups and 6% increase in their specific ICPs. which is just great. So really emotional targeting isn't just about copy, it's about the design. It's using images that support your message. So we went from a random product image of what it looks like to this is what it looks like. This is the profitability report. This is how you're going to see it. So you're attaching that message. You are creating that connection between what you're saying and proving it. Okay, so last slide for us today, almost. Let's get started with the emotional targeting framework. What do you need to do? Your next steps: conduct meaningful customer research, audit all your marketing assets, blog posts, landing pages, ads, your website, everything. Optimize your copy with emotion, using your insights, and use formulas. There's so many out there. Amplify your message with emotion-based design and UX. Test what you can, test everything. And remember, most importantly, that reality sucks. And it's our job as marketers to create better experiences so that people can arrive on a website and truly get what they care about, truly get their jobs done and receive those emotional outcomes. Know that at the end of purchasing this product, I will feel a certain way, I will achieve a certain way, and just make the world a little less stuck here. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And hopefully this has been interesting and valuable. I will be happy to take your questions.
I was telling that thank you so much for the great presentation. I noticed a lot, and I believe all the people did the same, because there were many tricks and tips in your presentation, and thank you so much. So if you like, I can get the next question. Yeah. And here's the next question.
Yes, thank you, Anna. So yes, of course. I think there's many different questions you can ask, but one that I love as an example, I'll give you a few. My favorite one I learned from AG Consult in Belgium, and that is, if you could no longer use this solution, what would you miss the most? It's one of my favorite questions, because it's not you going to your clients and saying, okay, what do you value the most? What do you like most about us? But by asking, hey, if I took this away from you right now, how would you feel? What is the thing you would miss the most? You're actually asking it in a smarter, more clever way that will get more meaningful answers. Other questions that I love are, if you were to recommend this to a friend, what would you say? So how would you describe our product and how would you recommend it? And it's also great for social proof. Another one is, what was going on in your life that made you search for a solution like this? So what was the actual trigger? There's a lot of different questions that you can ask, but ultimately the most important thing is to step back and think, I'm not looking for technical direct questions. I'm trying to get to the core of it.
Thank you. And I will get the next question here, as you can see.
So I think one of the things we should know, Darren, is that you can't actually utilize, you can, I guess, use data analytics. But this whole presentation is here to tell you that data analytics only tells you the where. It tells you what people are doing on your page. It will tell you if people converted or it didn't. It will tell you if people bounced. It will tell you what people are doing on your page. It can't tell you the why. It just can't. If you want to uncover the why, which is the emotional triggers, you have to do qualitative research and not quantitative research. And that's the key here.
Okay, thank you so much. And we have another question, but it's related to your presentation. Anna asked that, are you going to share the presentation or not on publicly?
Of course, PDF, yes.
Perfect, thank you. And there are some thank you messages, and I also want to thank you again. It was perfect. Talia, thank you so much for your time, for being with us, and hope to see you the other events we have next times.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye.